Good morning, Sackville High. Today is Friday, June 19th, graduation day on the rise. Please pay attention to the last time you'll ever hear me say something like this. Welcome family, friends, and of course, class of 2020. Today I have one final announcement to make, and this one is for my fellow graduates. First, I'd like to take a second to introduce myself. My name is Madison Gass, and I'm sure some of you are probably gasping because you must know me as Maddie. Before I get started, I'd like to thank all of my past teachers, family, and friends who have shaped me to be the most wicked dancing, weird individual I am today. To be specific, I'd like to shout out 3 staff members who have never failed to support my growth throughout my journey at Sackville High. Miss Mullane, Miss Ingram, and Mr. Dave Morash are 3 amazing humans who I hope you get to interact with in some way, whether that is outside of school, inside the school. Sorry. Now let's get down to business. Not only is it graduation day, but it is a day which ends an era, and that is not something I'm comfortable with. I'd probably be lying if I said I loved senior year and every experience from it. But if you ask me in 10 years just how senior year went down in history, I'm sure I could dig out a few memories. Which leads me to ask you 2 questions. When you started Sackville High, what was your goal and did you achieve it? I'm sure you may think that is extremely broad, but the truth is I know half of you had a sarcastic response, and some of you are still trying to figure something out. I know this because despite not having a conversation with each and every one of you, we are connected. The goals you all thought about, like being captain of the football team, acing all your tests, and being first in the cafeteria lunch line, this is what shaped high school, that and all of the past. Growing up comes with a lot of memories. In elementary school, I moved to Sackville. I made a few friends and I tried to make the most out of everything. For most of us, elementary included moments such as indoor and outdoor shoes, playing bump or foursquare outside, making new friends every year, cute birthday parties, and class pets. We all wore silly bands, played on the playground, and the iPod Touch became very popular. Oh yeah, and the principal's office was not a fun place to be sent. But let's be honest, junior high was where it was at. We had those weird sock hops, our classmate got braces, we all discovered deodorant was essential, and we all went to the school hockey games. In grade 8, Justin Trudeau got elected as Prime Minister, not President, and I'm a little worried you guys still don't know that. Harambe, the famous gorilla, died, and a few amazing parents planned our grad dances. It was one of those nights where you danced way too hard. Everyone had an amazing time, and before we knew it, it was the summer before high school. This was a summer full of weird memories. Does anyone remember the summer of 2016? It's when the dab became popular, Donald Trump was running for president of the USA, and One Dance by Drake was the trendiest song. For us, we spent the summer preparing for high school. This might have meant moving to a new school, spending too much on a new wardrobe, or trying to figure out who you were. You didn't know it then, but you wouldn't figure that out for a while. The week before grade 9 started, you started to get that pit in your stomach, asking yourself, who's going to be my friend still? Frantically searching online to see who was in your classes and deciding if that zipper binder was still a trend. You were not expecting high school to turn out the way it did. Then, it was your first year of high school. Some people were switching schools, maybe even to our rivals, Millwood, and well, some people were doing drugs. It was all very surreal. Grade 9 flew by. I remember the first day of school where we thought the building was huge and we all got lost. Some of us participated in the grade 9 Olympics, and we went to our first spirit dance. We got a tiny taste of exams, a hectic schedule, and finding out what being late for class really meant. And of course, opening up the high school chapter of our lives. The best or worst years of your life. Grade 10 began and ended with the same math class. For me, it kicked my butt, but we quickly had to choose big, scary classes that might define our future. We all had one up on the Niners, so there was less pressure in the hallways, but more pressure on report cards. You may have been more likely to make a team, but you could also be riding the bench. Oh yeah, and exams were real this time. On to grade 11, when everything was getting way too real. Every time an adult was around, they asked you about your future. People were skipping class, dropping out, and creating many unforgettable moments. Exams sucked, as I just had a true color dance, and some of us got our license. A few of our classmates went to Europe, and a lot of our best friends graduated. And that was only the beginning, because then it was senior year and time was flying. I always knew high school was all about the lessons learned, but I didn't realize it would hit me in the face like a brick. It all started in grade 9 when we wrote our first exams. Well, that's when I learned I actually had to study a bit, or everything was going to go downhill. But as I got older, I could see the growth around me, which caused me to accept one lesson that people always warned me about, but I'll come back to that. Right now, I want to thank all of my fellow graduates for a couple of things. Thank you for listening to me, for providing me with feedback about school events, but mostly for being one of the best groups of people to run into. There is never a dull moment when you're around a Sackville High student, whether they're bringing you through at Sobeys like Sophie Squared, giving you gas at Petrocan like Ariel and Arlia, or loading the lobster planes at the airport like Sam and Heike. We really do create some hard workers here. Our graduating class has really proven what it's like to encounter difficulties and still push through, which leads me to a very important topic. Mental health in the Sackville community is one that hits near and dear to all of our hearts. Today marks a special day for a few students who would have been here today walking with us or watching from the audience. And with that, I would love to say we miss you. We miss your smiles in the hallway, your passion in your hobbies, and how you have impacted all of us individually. You have pushed myself and many others to fulfill their dreams, as well as hold on to their favorite memories. If it were up to me, I'd babble on just like it was the announcements, but I'll summarize this part of things I and most of you will miss. Sackville High was very special, as it was one of the older schools around here. I am happy to say I will not miss the boiler breaking down twice a year, changing the outdoor sign in the winter, and the creaking washroom stall doors. But I will miss seeing Mr. Miller with his arms crossed, staring into my soul, the friendly morning hello from Ken, our custodian, and of course, the look on people's faces when I play my favorite songs during class change. Nothing will ever beat the time I played Crazy Frog for prom fundraising, and everyone, including the teachers, wanted to go home. I have thoroughly enjoyed seeing all of your smiles walking to class, laughing at some crazy parking lot shenanigans, and bugging you all for yearbook photos. Although senior year came to a pause, where we all switched gears to a new way of life, and we lost out on some memories that would last a lifetime, we do have one thing, and that's each other. We all may be fighting our own battles, but we're all living the same nightmare, which means we need to support each other like we always have. We all have the power to hope, and we all have the power to believe. We can all look forward to celebrations in the future, the connections we will rebuild when this is all over, and the happiness that will shine across our city when we can all see each other again. We will make it amazing, just like it was supposed to be. I am beyond proud of where we all ended up. After going through online school, a new form of graduation, and being separated from all our favorite people, we all made it here. A lot of you have so many accomplishments to talk about, making honors or higher in your senior year, possible awards or scholarships, and obviously graduating. The most important accomplishment is to stand here today and acknowledge that you have lived these past 12 years of school to your fullest potential. Be excited for the future and remember your orange-colored roots. I am personally so proud of some of the things I have accomplished over the years. I was one of the co-presidents this year, I've participated in a few clubs, and I've played on some sport teams, but most of all, I am proud to say I am a Kingfisher. With that being said, the ending of senior year has definitely taught us all to understand the meaning of gratitude, perseverance, and patience. I hope that many of you can carry that into the next chapters of your life. For many of us, the future looks really weird right now. Some of us are so unsure of what is happening, and some of us have signed up for 4 years of craziness at university. Some of us are going to continue being the backbones of essential workers. In the next 10 years, you will run into fellow classmates and see them with their children, their soulmate, or their fur baby. We will all be living crazy lives that we could have never imagined, a life that rapidly changes. I can guarantee something we will all do is make a difference. You guys are so much more important than you are told, and I hope you know this. Before I close, I would like to give some life tips to those listening. If I could give any advice to my future graduates, I would say, please listen to everyone that tells you this. High school does go way too quick, and I promise you, things will get better. Homework doesn't go away, and yes, eventually, Kingfisher Way will fully be paved. If I could give any advice to my fellow graduates, I would say be patient, learn from your mistakes, and be open to change. And to focus on a very important acronym I learned this year. Be long. Be loving, optimistic, noble, and generous. And on that note, it's time to move your tassel from the right to the left, and I'd love to say congratulations and good luck to the amazing class of 2020.